I'll put you on the price. Is this one here? 55. Yeah, that was a really good time too.
Great bag, but always wrap it up.
That's great.
Hello. Yeah, I gotta have all kinds of stories and stuff that we bought and sold.
No, thanks.
Sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
I need to shave my leg, but
Do I need to have proof of purchase to get out? Or?
No.
Okay.
does he want a bag for it?
No.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, you find anything else you like, I'll bundle you up.
I know, I don't know if you like the color. I think it's alright.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Did you do demo or?
I can do that.
All right, everybody, we're back home from the flea market. As you can see right here, I have a folder full of World War II papers and documents, including a World War I document. So let's go over what I found at the flea market. So here's everything I found. We got this pillow cover and then those documents I was talking about. And it's not the sexiest type of militaria collectibles, but there are some very fascinating historic documents in here, including some paychecks from a U.S. serviceman during the war. Let's go over this pillowcase first. This is a beautiful World War II sweetheart pillow cover slash pillowcase, whatever you want to call it. And you can see up here, this is titled for somebody from the 11th Armored Division. It's from Camp Polk, Louisiana. So this was probably a souvenir from a GI himself, and he sent it to his sister. He must deeply love his sister. That's pretty awesome. And unfortunately, some of that decal, that 11th Armored Division insignia is kind of worn off there on the top. But it was only $3, you guys. $3 for this beautiful pillowcase. And the 11th Armored Division, they entered the war late 1944, I believe. And they actually took part in the Battle of the Bulge. And then they made their way through Germany. And I think they even went all the way to Austria during the war. So a lot of history behind the 11th Armored Division. And this is just a wonderful World War II pillowcase for $3. Now let me show you what else I got. Now you guys saw me digging through a box of old papers, and that is what I absolutely love to do at flea markets like that. Just dig for historic items and treasures, because you never know what you'll find, and this is the case right here. So I'll open up this folder. And all of this I got from the same man. I only paid $20 for all these items. And there's a lot of historic documents in here, like this 6th Army Engineer Edition newspaper. This is a late World War II newspaper issue. They issued these to the soldiers themselves when they were overseas. Just a little form of entertainment when they're passing the time. And there's a lot of fascinating information in here. You got some cool pictures, like this one titled "A Jap Pillbox Up in Smoke," and then you got some, somebody's handwriting, like putting their own little notes right here. Here's a quote from the General of the U.S. Army, and he says he is right too. So I'm thinking that might be the veteran's handwriting himself. And let's turn the page here, because there are some more fascinating photos. Down here you have some pictures of minesweepers, and then it says they make sure the road is safe. After the smoke grenade comes the dynamite. And as you know, the engineers, they were always putting in a lot of work, not just battle and warfare, but they were the masterminds behind the infrastructure on the islands in the Pacific and also in Europe. But they built a lot of bridges, like right there. And then you even see right here, there's a picture of an engineer casualty, sadly. Looks like someone's holding his hand. I wish there was a name right there. That'd be really fascinating to look him up. And then there is one more page in the back right here, just with some more depictions of their work that they have to do. A lot of dangerous work. So not only did they have a chance of being killed in battle, but they had a chance of being killed or seriously injured during this extreme rigorous labor jobs they did. So this is an awesome little newspaper right here. And down here on the bottom, it's dated August 1945. It says printed by the 650th Engineer Battalion. I believe that battalion is just the battalion who made this and printed it. I don't think these are actual depictions of them. This is the 6th Army, and I think most of these pictures are going to be somewhere in the Philippines and also possibly New Guinea during World War II. But this is a wonderful historic piece. Let me show you what else is in this folder. So right here is another wartime book, and this is Wartime Care of Line Construction and Maintenance Tools. I have a feeling some of this might belong to the same World War II veteran who served in the Engineer Corps, because this seems like something an engineer soldier would have right here. But this is definitely a wartime book. I think it's dated so it's 1945. So this is probably either early or late 45, late war. But this is another fascinating book. You got a picture of the wire cutters and some of the tools they use. So that's a really cool book. And next up is another wartime guide. It says A Guide to Wartime Care of Electric Motor Cars, published by Alice Chalmers Manufacturing Company. And then it says it contains no advertising. So one of the reasons I picked this up is because when I turn to the first page, you got some neat depiction right there, Around the World in 8 Days, and it's dated 1942, but also down here you have some propaganda, patriotic depictions of a Japanese soldier, and I think possibly this is like a German soldier. Right here it says every U.S. maintenance man is pitted against a Jap or Nazi maintenance man. And then on the top right there it says maintenance as usual went out with Pearl Harbor. So basically everything changed after Pearl Harbor. But this is another little fascinating book. He got so much history in here. I'm gonna look forward to reading through this. And we got some more documents here, everybody. Next up is a continuance of National Service Life Insurance. So this is dated June 1944. So that's around D-Day, and I believe this is for veterans who were discharged before the end of World War II. So you have a lot of info in here about life insurance for the veterans. Another little handy guide, little small book. So that's another neat find. And then I really like these last two finds. So the first one right here is an envelope. At first I thought it wasn't open because the back hasn't been, it was still sealed shut, but it looks like he opened it on the side. So it actually wasn't sealed, but it's dated August 1st, 1944, and it's U.S. Coast Guard official business. So let's open this up. So you got multiple papers inside of here, and let's take a look, unfold this first one, and see what this is for. So United States Coast Guard. You got the name of the ship right there. I've never heard of that ship, SS David A. Curry. And then the name of the sailor, James O. Schimpf. And this is a payment of $75 in 1945 for a number of months. It just says voyage. South Atlantic Steamship Line, Savannah Bank. And then it's made out to a lady right here. I'm gonna assume this is probably his wife. No, it possibly is his mother. Here's another one, and this one is dated June 12th, 1944. So this is only 6 days after D-Day. And this time he's on the SS Thomas W. Hyde. I'm gonna have to do some research on this gentleman, James, to see if there's any obituaries online where I can learn a little bit more about his story. So fascinating stuff with these payment checks, and I'm gonna assume most of these ships were just like cargo ships, not actual like military ships, but used to transport items. But he was still a serviceman, so thank you for your service, Mr. Mr. James Schimpf. Let's move on to this World War I document. I had to pick this up because not only is this over 100 years old, dated from 1918, but I really was digging the main article on here. And this is titled, Germany Accepts Armistice Terms and All Hostilities Are Concluded. Conditions Announced by the President. So this is a big deal article right here for a big moment in World War I history. Now, I'm trying to figure out what kind of newspaper this is. It says Official U.S. Bulletin. So I think this is something probably given to military servicemen during the war, or possibly even maybe politicians or something, but some sort of person serving in an official capacity would be receiving like this. I don't think this is a civilian newspaper, but I could be wrong. But as you can see, this thing it still has possibly the original staples in here, but it is very, very delicate, being over 100 years old. There definitely is a lot of fascinating info in here, including casualties reported by General Pershing. And I think there's a few pages of these casualties. And this is something a lot of collectors would want, and a lot of historians, because, you know, the further back you go, the harder it is to find information on casualties. And there's a whole list of casualties right here in this newspaper. So this is definitely a very historical document because, I mean, it's about Germany's surrender, which happened on November 11th, 1918. So I'm really happy I picked this up and all the other documents I showed you guys. Well, that's it for the video, you guys. I hope you enjoyed me showing these World War II relics and mementos that have a lot of history behind it. My favorite item was this Corps of Engineers newspaper because there is just some fascinating photos in there. But I think I did good. I only paid $23 for all this stuff. So let me know down in the comments, you guys, which one of your items was your favorite. And go ahead and fill me in on any history that I might have missed when talking about these items, you guys. Subscribe, appreciate the support, and we'll see you on the next one. Take care.